What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, where in this video we are going to be going over a reveal from a Star Wars actor who has confirmed that his character will not actually be appearing in the Kenobi TV series. So early last year, it was rumored that Jar Jar Binks would be appearing in the Kenobi series, and this was something that we even talked about in my video that I posted last week about the Kenobi series. A few days later, Disney released the official cast for the Kenobi series, which included about 12 actors. And for clarification, that's obviously not going to be every person who appears in the show, so that does not necessarily mean that characters like Captain Rex and Ahsoka and Qui-Gon, who have all been rumored, will not appear in the show still. It's just, that's the main cast. But going back to Jar Jar, Ahmed, who is the man who played Jar Jar in the prequel trilogy, recently tweeted and said, "Thanks for the love, but I will not be in this series as much as I would have loved to be a part of it. But I am ecstatic to see folks who I love dearly back together doing great things." And he then later replied to a fan and said he didn't know how likely it would be that Jar Jar would appear in the future of Star Wars at all, but it brings him joy to know that he has brought joy to the galaxy. Now, is it possible that he's lying, or simply that he just doesn't know that his character will appear and he will end up showing up? Sure. If he is to appear, I wouldn't say Ahmed is lying. I would probably have to guess that he just doesn't know yet, but I think it's more likely that Jar Jar is simply not going to show up. Now, what does that mean for the story? I mean, really nothing in my opinion, because I didn't really see how Jar Jar was going to fit into the story in the first place, since the show is set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Unless Jar Jar was going to show up in a flashback, then there wasn't really any way to pull that off and have it make sense, in my opinion. I wasn't necessarily opposed to it, I just didn't really see how it was going to make sense and how they were going to pull that off. But that is our confirmation. Jar Jar will not be appearing in the Kenobi series, and I really think that makes sense. I never really understood how he was going to show up. The thing that I do want to acknowledge, though, which doesn't really have anything to do with the character of Jar Jar specifically, is I'm happy to see that Ahmed feels love from the fan base, and that he's in a better place now, because this is a man whose character was hated when the prequels came out, and because of that, he was also scrutinized and bullied, similar to Jake Lloyd, who played young Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace, similar to Kelly Marie Tran, who plays Rose in the sequels, similar to Daisy Ridley, similar to Hayden Christensen even, who was bullied for his acting. I find it really sad and somewhat disgusting, actually, that these actors are bullied and hated on for playing the roles that they're given in these movies. If you're going to hate on something, hate on the character, not the actor. In a perfect world, obviously we'd have no hate at all. People could just voice their opinions in a civilized way, but it's really sad to see these actors who are attacked simply for playing the character that they were given. And Ahmed is somebody who found himself in a really dark place. He's been somewhat open about that, actually. And as of late, fans have been treating him a lot better, and I think that's a really great thing. In regards to Jar Jar showing up in the future in some other show or even in the Kenobi series, though, here's the thing. Let's separate the actor from the character, as we always should. If we just look at the character of Jar Jar Binks, there's no reason that he can't show up in a small role in some TV show or something down the road. But if we're just being realistic, Jar Jar Binks is not that important of a character. He's not an extremely loved character. He's not really a character that's worth bringing back, in my opinion, unless it's a prequel-centric show like The Clone Wars or something like that, and he has a small cameo, like I'm saying. But that is going to wrap things up for this video. I just wanted to quickly come on here and clarify that Jar Jar Binks will not be appearing in the Kenobi series, and also reassure anyone who was worried that because Liam Neeson and Rosario Dawson didn't show up on the casting announcement from Star Wars, that does not mean that their characters won't appear. I'm not saying they will for sure. Ahsoka is another character who certainly does not have to appear, and that would not hurt the story. Qui-Gon, I feel that he does have to appear in a Kenobi series. I feel that him not being there would be a very weird thing. Qui-Gon should definitely be in this show. But I'm not saying he's going to be in it either. We simply do not know. But the fact that they weren't on that casting call doesn't mean they won't appear. That's just an initial announcement which confirmed that Hayden and Obviously, Ewan and Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, the actors who played them, those characters will be in the show for sure. We do know that. So we'll see what happens from here. Fingers crossed for any of the other characters that you guys may want to see in the show. But comment which characters you guys are looking forward to seeing most in the Kenobi series, whether it be ones who were confirmed or characters who have not yet been confirmed and you're hoping to see. Please remember to leave a like on this video to support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course, may the Force be with you always.